Hey guys, it's Bahar, and I have a little surprise. I'm a new athlete of Raw Revive, and today I will be answering interesting questions just for you guys to know me a little bit more. Let's go. As I remember, so I've always been into sports. I used to play basketball in high school for 7 years. I've always played soccer with my um classmates, usually with like guys. So I was growing up a little bit type of like a tomboy girl. And then in fitness, while I was still in school, I was bullied for being skinny. It's a classic story. And I was like, why not to go and change my body a little bit? So I went to the local gym. It's like 5 minutes away from my house. And I remember the first moment I entered the gym, it was like all the guys, and they were very welcoming, and the gym became my second family. So since I started noticing results from training, nothing could stop me. So now I'm where I am, literally. Yeah. So bullying brought me to the fitness industry. That was my main reason, but also I always found athletic bodies more beautiful. Not body shaming, it's just preference. I just like muscles. So I always found them, like if I would go out just for a walk and I would see athlete, I'm like, oh my God, like that body looks amazing, So I was always into sports. So in my mind, like muscles is always, it just catches your attention more. Of course, I eat chicken, like meat, seafood and everything, but mostly I don't even count my macros. I feel like because I've always been skinny, for the type of body that I have, it's really, really hard. It's really hard for me to gain weight, and especially when we're talking about fat tissue. Like I'm 29, I'm turning 30 in 3 months. And people always like told me, wait, when you're 30, you're gonna gain more weight. And I'm like, it's not happening still. You know what I'm trying to, like, I actually try to eat more. I eat everything that I want. I don't have like limits when and what to eat. I literally eat whatever I want. And then when I go to train, I feel like my workouts are pretty intense, I would say. So I feel like, especially when it's leg days, it's just hour and a half or 2 hours, and I feel like everything that I ate before is just gone. That's how it feels. Well, at least like I don't gain fat, so there's the only explanation that I have for now. Or maybe I don't eat enough. Maybe that too. So, but I'm not really tripping about that. I'm just eating whatever I want and train whenever I want. Easy. Every day is cheat meal. I don't really have cheat meal. People like, do you have cheat meal? I was like, I don't know. Like every day I eat whatever I want. I mean, of course I understand again that I have to like eat meat, like rice, carbs, whatever. But mostly it's just whatever. So no cheat meal, I guess. Cheat meal is 24/7 for me, like every day. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I order McDonald's. It's not the best option, but I just crave it sometimes. So why not? But usually it's like pizza and soda. Yeah, and it goes nowhere, like nowhere. I believe if I would have like more discipline when it comes to meals, I would look way better than I look right now, to be honest. Yeah, because sometimes like I lose some pounds, sometimes I gain, so it's not stable. You know what I mean? Only because I'm not strict when it comes to my meal prep. So yeah. The last one that I had, he's from Brazil, and he actually trains his wife. She's a wellness competitor, and I, as I remember, she took like a second place in wellness category. And like all the coaches that I had, they're very different. The other one was like where he wasn't really into isolation type of movements, like hip thrust or whatever. And the last one, he would give me like kick glute backs or whatever it's called. I'm not really good with the names, I'm not gonna lie. But he gave me a lot of isolation, and I had improvements. And the previous one, he was like all about basic movements such as like squats, deadlifts, and all of that. No isolation whatsoever. So it's always very exciting to work with the new with other coaches because they're all different. Can I be completely honest? I feel like, of course, partly when I started lifting weights, I feel like you have to be passionate about it. I think you have to know what's the reason behind your, because a lot of girls DM me talking about my man likes athletic body, so I want to. I was like, so it's not what you want, it's like what your man wants to do, you know what I mean? So what was moving me again, it was like a lot of pain. So I basically was replacing mental pain with physical till these days. I'm not saying that it became easier. I'm not saying that people stopped hating on me. It's actually even worse than it was when I just started, you know? But I also gained a lot of followers, people that support me. So I feel like you have to know the exact reason why you want to train. So later on, you don't ask yourself or anyone else, what's your motivation? What people ask me, I was like, I don't have motivation. I just want to do this. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one that I'm looking at right now that will motivate me but me. So I always say that my heartbeat is my only motivation that I need. Like, as soon as I'm like, I'm alive, I'm going to the gym. You know what I mean? So, and I understand that fitness community can be a little toxic sometimes because all of the videos on the internet that people filming each other and everything. Honestly, no one really cares if you want to get your body right. You just go to the gym, spend their hour and a half, no phones, no conversations, just do the job and leave. Like, I don't even care about people staring at me, men staring at me. I know a lot of girls like do these videos, oh, men looking at me too, you know what I mean? So what? I'm glad men looking at me, like, I'm glad I'm getting that attention. It doesn't, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like people really have to chill because all this unnecessary, he stared at me. At this point, it feels like girls don't go to the gym to train, but to see who's looking at them, you know? And people gonna look regardless, you know? So you really have to know the reason why you want to go to the gym and just don't care about anyone else. It's been like so many athletes talk about this, like people's opinion don't really matter, you know? Just go and do your job. It's your life, it's your body. Do whatever you want to. Don't harm other people. Yeah, that's what I want to say. I don't even deal with it. I mean, I entertain it. I know how to before, and again, especially for those who just starting it. I'm not talking about other industries since we're talking about fitness. It's all like I lost a lot of friends along the way. You know what I mean? People who I thought were my friends were like, oh, you're changing. You kind of should like slow down. And I was like, I don't want to slow down. I have my own limits, but it's not over. I don't want to slow down. And they didn't get me. So I had to say bye. You know what I mean? I lost a lot of friends. Like in my circle right now, maybe like 6 people in my circle. And I've never had like a lot of like a big company around me. You know, I always felt uncomfortable. So I only keep this like 6 close people to me, and I'm cool with it. And about haters, I mean, you gotta know how social media works. You know, you have to understand that most of the time people are just bored because the only hate that I get is on internet. When you go in real life, these people are not, I mean, they're there, but they don't have enough courage, you know, to say all that in your face. So I was like, I feel like at some point you really have to understand that people are people. Some of the people are angry, and the internet is the only safe place where they can, you know, put their negative out even on you, but it can't really phase you because it's not about, you know, we can't go really deep into that, but I really don't. Like, I used to go to therapy a lot, you know, so, and when you go to therapy, you really understand how people, you know, act and why they act that way. So you can't get mad anymore. You just understand them, you know. So, and plus, I mean, sometimes I can entertain them, like my haters, and I understand the more active they are on my page, the more my page is getting active, which means the more money. And yeah, I feel like people really have to enjoy all that part, you know. You know what I mean? I feel like I just know what my audience want. It was always legs and glutes, so I keep moving in that direction. And it's been like years, and people keep saying like, oh, you gotta go down, like you're not gonna be popular anymore. But I'm like, it's actually, I'm not even like slowing down yet, you know what I mean? Like I started with a lot of athletes at the same time, and they're not there anymore, if that makes sense, you know? And I'm still going up. That means I'm doing something correct. Because, like, again, I know what my audience want and I give it to them. So, yeah. Plus, like, the content, the quality of the content and everything. Well, nothing special, really. Just stretching, a little mobility work. And that's pretty much it. I never really do cardio, like, before the workout. And especially, I mean, after. I'm not even though, like, I feel like sometimes I need it, you know, because I also thought, like, I'm already skinny, like, I don't need to do a cardio, but it actually helps to gain weight also. It helps your appetite, which I'm struggling with. Like, I don't really have appetite, so I'm really forcing myself to eat a lot. So yeah, nothing crazy. I just put on my, like, favorite music, a little stretching, mobility work, and I just jump into workout. My playlist is like includes any type of music. It can be just piano, like classic music, but mostly it's R&B. Mostly it's like heavy rock or something. Especially when it leg days, that's what I need. And sometimes when you go to the gym, it's not the type of music that I would want to hear. It doesn't really help. So I have to put on my headphones and just, you know, basically, yeah. Nothing crazy. This one, like, I've been listening to this one for like maybe like 3 weeks straight. No, stop. And I think it's like a slowed version. I can't. Right? I can't stop listening to it. It's Offset and Travis Scott. Okay, it's like rap. Yeah, so yeah. It's slowed version. It's called Say My Grace. And then I have Travis Scott, Fiend. Yeah. He knows everything. So, um, I'm not sure about the lyrics. I just hope they're not. Then I have this one. I think it's Russian band. They're like literally from 2007. I used to be emo kid. I used to be emo, and I used to listen to this song. So that time. Yeah, when in leg days, it's crazy how it helps mental. I don't know how, but I literally can lift heavy. Listen, I even have Arabic songs that I train to, like. It's. Can y'all imagine me squatting, listening to this? So yeah, my playlist is different, like different type of music, but it works. I like it. I like that. I have. I can't even like my whole back, but I still have to finish it. I have one sleeve and then forearm, one on my glute, one on my cheeks, and in my neck. The most painful was neck. All of my tattoos I did like without numbing cream or whatever. So usually all my tattoos are like, I'm a very impatient person. Like, I don't feel like sometimes it's a good quality. So all my tats I get like in one session. So my neck in one session, my forearm in one session, because I just don't want to do like, you know, weight. I don't like waiting. So that's why it's getting painful. And my neck, I think it took like 4 hours. Yeah, because my 4 hours like this, yeah. And when my body starts like shaking, I was like, yeah, I need a break right now. But I can go on, yeah. So 10 out of 10, it was painful, the neck tat. That's a good question. I don't know why I don't wanna numb the pain for some reason. I just like going through pain rather than going around it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go through it. That's nothing new to me. That's a good question. I feel like there's a lot of companies out there and they've been reaching out, but I used to work just with one company throughout all this 10 years that I've been in the fitness industry, and I started in, I think even more, in 2014 or something. And the first sponsors I got in 2016. And since then, like, I was with the first company that I was before. And I feel like it depends on your image also. Like, I couldn't imagine myself in a company that doesn't really fit me, if that makes sense. And I've been in a lot of fitness events. I've seen athletes. And even when it comes to like teammates, athletes, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't look good with these people. Like, I'm just not fitting in, if that makes sense. So, and with the Raw, first of all, I did my little researches and everything. I saw the athletes. I saw even it's hard to explain. It's like details, even the colors. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm the type of person, I wear like dark colors. I don't like too bright. Even my voice, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there are companies that are like very bright. The girls are softer looking than me, and I know that I'm not gonna be looking good in there, because I had this little experience in Australia where the clothing brand invited me. And I saw their athletes, I was like, I look very different and I'm not blending in. And when I was at the line at the booth, people were like, who is this girl? Because the girls were like all, I would say, more softer, more feminine look, if that makes sense. And I was like, yeah, I don't belong here. You know what I mean? So it really depends on a physical appearance with the whole mentality thing, you know? So I had my time talking to people from Raw, and I was like, yeah, it might work, you know, because we think alike. I like the ideas, I like the supplements. I've tried the supplements, and I'm very honest when it comes to supplements. I took time to try them. I love them. And knowing myself, I'm not even big when it comes to supplements. Like, I'm very, very picky person when it comes to supplements, when it comes to companies, the people that I want to work with. Most of the time, I'm very socially awkward. So if I can't relax around people, I know that I wouldn't be able to feel comfortable or work. So with the Raw company, it feels completely opposite. I feel comfortable. I feel like I'm welcomed here. I feel like I blend in perfectly. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what future brings. You know, I always wanted to be in movies for some reason. Yeah, and a lot of my followers were like, you really have to go try. You really have to be like in the Marvel movies or something like that. I mean, I wish, though. I have zero actress experience. So I don't know, but for some reason I have a feeling that it might work. I should try myself, you know what I mean? Because I want to go outside of the fitness industry also. I'm not living in fitness, but I feel like with opportunities that I have, because I moved from Ukraine to America, there's more opportunities for me, you know, and seeing that I'm getting noticed not only in fitness industry but in movies, in music, I was like, I gotta take these opportunities, trying to use them. So hopefully, I hope so, this year. Yeah, it might work. Also, like, I plan to be on podcast, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not okay with everything that's been going on in the world and the message that some people put in media. I'm not okay with that. So I feel like I have this weird goal to try and change it and bring people's brain back, you know, into their heads, because it's just too much weird stuff going on. So I was like, yeah, if no one else, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try, you know, into their heads, because it's just Instagram feed and everything that I hear all these podcasters talking about, you know, weird stuff, like their opinion how relationships should be, how this should be. I was like, that's just all weird to me. You know what I mean? And not just to me, but I feel like people getting way too comfortable when it's like too much tolerance. You know, I'm already going to like, we have to cut it here. I know that a lot of people want like what I will say in podcast, but I feel like it's need to be said. You know, because again, and everybody afraid to speak because people nowadays are so sensitive. They cannot take the truth. They take it as offense. But yeah, I'ma do it. If no one else can, I will do it.
What is the biggest goal you have accomplished so far in your lifetime?
Damn, these questions are good.
Thank you. I came up with them myself, but Mook also pitched in too.
I feel like ability to take care of my family, like my mom, my friend in Ukraine, when everybody knows the situation in Ukraine, just to help the people around me. You know what I mean? With it, like, I'm living comfortably, so, and I like to share. And before, like, I'm not coming from a rich family. You know, when we moved to Ukraine, we're like very, very poor. And then my parents started like their business. It worked for some time. And then my parents got divorced and my mom didn't have anything. And I was like, okay, I gotta do something with this, you know? So I feel like the main goal I accomplished. My mom lives comfortably also. So just me being able to take care of my close ones. Yeah, that's the most important part for me.
And then, so did you originally, were you born in Ukraine and then you moved here, or like what's your story?
Originally, I'm from Azerbaijan. It's close to Georgia and Turkey. And then my parents moved to Ukraine, and I had to learn Ukrainian and Russian in Ukraine. So I basically speak 5 languages.
Wow.
5.
So what are the 5?
English, Russian, Ukrainian, Azerbaijani, and Turkish.
Wow. That is incredible. How long did it take you to learn all that?
I don't even remember how I learned Russian and Ukrainian. I feel like by watching the TV a lot, and then I went to school in Ukraine. And by that time, a lot of people spoke Russian in Ukraine, and some people still do. So I learned them both at the same time. And then Azerbaijani language is very similar to Turkish. So if a Turkish person speaks to me, I would be able to understand, even if I didn't know Turkish. So yeah, in English I learned in school and then in university, and then I listened to a lot of like American music, and I used to listen how they pronounce the words. So I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I don't have like a harsh accent, because like I used to hear and I would like memorize and everything. You know, so yeah, and just speaking to a lot of foreign people, yeah, also helped.
Wow. And so then when did you move to Florida?
It was a pandemic. I think it was in September 2021, I believe. Yeah, I'm still adapting though, I'm not gonna lie, because America is very, very different from what I used to. People are different, mentality is different. So, and it's been like what, 3 years? 3 years? Yeah.
What are some of the biggest differences you notice? And I won't take offense if you think that Americans are crazy, because we kind of are.
I wouldn't say crazy. I would say very, very sensitive, sometimes for no reason. You know, so, and I'm not, a lot of American people think that I'm rude, you know, but it's more of I'm just being straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sugarcoating things. And they're like, that's very rude. I'm just saying, you know, what you need to hear sometimes, you know, because your friends might lie to you and not me. You know, it's just, yeah, to the point that I have to filter what I'm saying, even though I never say like anything intentionally, you know, like rude, or I'm not like that, you know, but people get offended literally nowadays by anything. So I really have to, I would say, watch my mouth, you know, just make sure not to offend anyone. But and that's a weird part. It's not a bad thing. I'm just not used to it. If I go somewhere here, people smile at me and say, "Hi, how are you?" Even though like it's strangers. I'm like, that was my first reaction when I got here, because if you do that in Ukraine, people will look at you like, why are you talking to me? Like, why are you smiling? Do I know you? You know, that type of reaction. And here, people just like, hey, how are you? Looking nice. And I was like, oh, that's weird, but thank you. But I kind of get used to it, but still, it's very unusual to me. It was pretty much it for the first episode, guys. I hope you get to know me a little bit more than before. More is coming. Stay tuned and see you in the next one.